Okay, guys, let's talk transfers. We've had a good few videos talking about FC26, and actually I've been missing out on some of the big news. So I thought I would do a video kind of rounding up some of the transfers that maybe you've missed. I've certainly missed a couple of these. We've got a real interesting mix of transfers that I just wasn't expecting to see. This one, for example, is absolutely wild. The story of Wrexham. I think people are going to talk about the Wrexham journey for many decades to come. And now their most recent signing, Connor Kodi. Oh, what happened to my camera? Did you guys see that? Connor Kodi. Wait, is it saying his name that makes that happen? Connor Kodi is a Wrexham player. They've paid 2.3 million euros for him. And I think that's a bargain. You've got an experienced England international, well, ex-England international that's played with Everton, with Wolves, with who else has he played for? There's a few others, but he's a brilliant signing. He's going to help them so much. So here's a question for you guys watching. Leave it in the comments. When do you think Wrexham will make it into the Premier League? Are we talking in the near future? Is it ever going to happen? Honestly, I wouldn't bet against it. It is an incredible journey they're on, and it's seemingly still going. What a signing that is. Up next, we've got Aaron Ramsdale. I miss that smile. You know, there was mixed feelings when Ramsdale left. I know a lot of Arsenal fans were happy he was gone, but also a lot were sad. And I was one of the sad ones. I loved Ramsdale. He doesn't have a great record with clubs. Obviously, he's gone down. He's been relegated many times with many different clubs. But when he joined Arsenal, it was a really weird transfer. Everyone, media, fans were lumping on basically pressure, saying he's rubbish. How is he going to Arsenal for, what was it, 28 million or something like that, when he's just been relegated twice in a row? And how's he getting an Arsenal move? He's rubbish. And then he actually helped us get Champions League football again for the first time in a long time. He was brilliant. But he did an interview one day. There was a podcast, I think it was with Ian Wright, and he said that he just can't focus for a full game. And I think that was his downfall. He, of course, then left Arsenal. We replaced him with Raya. We haven't looked back. And to be fair, I don't think he's hit the heights he had at Arsenal since, but now he's on loan at Newcastle. A huge loan fee, by the way, 4.6 million. It's a lot of money. Southampton, of course, need money. They've gone back down to the Championship. They want to bounce right back. But losing Ramsdale was inevitable. He's too good to be in the Championship. I still think he's one of the better goalkeepers for England. I would love to see him still get in the England setup, not necessarily start. I think Trafford is going to be the go-to keeper if it's not Pickford. But I love Ramsdale, and I actually wish him good luck. I don't particularly like Newcastle, and obviously they're one of our rivals for that top 6, top 4 finish. But I want Ramsdale to do well, if I'm honest, and I think he will. Great goalkeeper. This isn't a very nice transfer to report on because I'm quite jealous. Palinia, when he was at Fulham, was brilliant. So good. And he got his move to Bayern. I think he was meant to go 6 months prior to when he did go. And there was a massive issue with the fact that that Fulham wouldn't let him go or something along those lines. He got his move and it just didn't work out at Bayern. It just hasn't worked. And now he finds himself back in London wearing white, but it's the white of Tottenham in that hideous shirt. But fair play. It's a loan. And again, a massive fee, 5 million euros to loan Palinia. But in the grand scheme of things, I think for a club like Spurs, it's vital. They have a stronger midfield this season. They've got plenty of injuries right now, especially with creative midfielders. So just to make sure, I guess they've got a solid defensive midfield option, this is a really good deal. I think it has an option to buy at the end of the season. I don't think it'd be crazy cheap, but I don't think it'll be very expensive either. And we all know Palinia is a fantastic player. So fair play to Spurs. I think Man United should have been all over this. I think this should have been a Manchester United signing. That's just my opinion. Now, everyone probably has heard of this one, but I want to talk about it because he's one of my favourites from career mode. Hato has signed for Chelsea, becoming their 49th signing. Yes, 49th signing in the last 4 years. Sorry, what? It's unbelievable. Just under 45 million euros. The left back / centre back joins Chelsea. I think he's going to be playing on the left side of a back three, potentially. What I will say, though, is out of those 49 signings, if they're going to get, I don't know, 8, 6 of those right, where they've really hit the jackpot, I think he's going to be one of them. Superb young player. I've wanted him at Arsenal for many years now, but of course we went with Calafiori. We've got Lewis Skelly now. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think Hato would have loved to have come to Arsenal, but Chelsea is obviously a great move for him too. I don't think it's as good of a move as it could have been for going to Arsenal. Maybe I think that would have been better, but obviously we've gone a different route, and I'm not bitter. I am. I'm massively jealous. I love this guy. I think he's going to be brilliant for Chelsea. It's a pretty large fee, but realistically, for one of the best under-20s in the world in his position, and Chelsea are very good in the windows. They're so good at buying and selling. It's not the way I'd want my club to operate, signing that many players and just hoping you hit something good. What is the plan there? Just sign anyone that's good. It's like playing career mode or playing FM. It's just like, yeah, just sign a bunch of players. We'll sell them in a year if it doesn't work out. It's quite ruthless, isn't it? But Hato is a Chelsea player. Now, I don't know why anyone... It's like no one's talking about this one. It doesn't make any sense to me. Osimemen, one of the best strikers in the world, has made his move to Galatasaray. It's permanent now. I think they're paying a chunk up front, and then it's going to be over 3 years or whatever. Again, this, I feel like Manchester United should have been all over this. It seems like they're going with Šeško, 85 million or whatever. And Osimemen, who is the better option right now, he's going into his prime, 75 million euros. It's a good move for Galatasaray, absolutely. Is it a good move for Osimemen? I think he could easily dominate football at a top European club in the Premier League, in Spain or whatever. And I'm not saying that going to Turkey isn't that, but let's be honest, it's not the most ambitious move, but fair play to him. He clearly loves it in Turkey, and I know they absolutely love him. They have some of the most passionate fans in the world. So he's made that move permanent. This is an interesting one. Maybe not many people will know about Nathan Zeze. A very good young French centre-back that, I mean, he joins about 17,000 other young French centre-backs that have great potential and look really, really good. But he's gone to the Saudi League, and he is going to play for Nyom SC. It's sad to see this. 20 million euros, of course, they were going to sell for a young 20-year-old centre-back. This is the kind of move I would have expected him to go like an RB Leipzig or somewhere in the Premier League, or I don't know, a Dortmund. It's a shame. A top talent. I think he's going to be a really good centre-back from what I've seen. And he's going to the Saudi League. Maybe it'll be for a year or two. Who knows? Some players literally go for a year, make some money, because obviously they're paying big wages out there and it's tax-free. As long as they can keep that money tax-free, there are certain rules and legislations. For example, in England, you can't return within a year. Otherwise, that money would be taxed between April and April. Hence, Henderson going to Ajax instead of returning back to the UK. Lots of people might not know that. If he came back to the UK straight away, he would have been taxed on his Saudi contract. So they have to stay away for a full financial year, April to April. Who knows if there's other countries that have similar rules, but I imagine that if Zeze continues doing well, even in Saudi, we might see more of him. Maybe he'll come back to a big European club at some point. This move stinks. Sorry, but it just does. This is another interesting one. We've got Paou, I think that's how you pronounce it, left winger from Feyenoord. He's gone to Marseille for 30 million euros. I think a lot of people watching where this guy would go. He had a good season, and he seems to be a good player going into, his mid-20s now. And I'm, again, just a bit surprised by it. I wasn't expecting it. 30 million is quite a lot, but he's a good player. He is an absolutely good player, solid player. Is this a step up? Yes, I would argue. And do you recognise the guy on the right side? That is Benatia, ex-Juventus, Bayern, very, very good defender. Is he their sporting director? I don't know. I think he is. Director of football, maybe. But either way, another good player from somewhere outside of the top 5 European leagues, let's say, has made a big money move. It's crazy that 30 million euros gets you Paou. That's about it now. And then lastly, we do have a new striker coming to the Premier League. And I wanted to kind of make a little prediction here because Andri coming from Bologna to Nottingham Forest for 42 million euros is no joke. That is a very, very premium price for a player that looks good, don't get me wrong, but I think Nottingham Forest will struggle next season. I don't expect them to have such a promising... Well, it's not even just the start of last season. They did very well right until the end, pretty much. They fell off a little bit. I think that was to be expected. They were never going to keep up and be in that top four. I didn't think so anyway. This season, I think getting top 8 would be very good for them. It's going to be difficult. It's really going to be difficult. And spending 42 million euros on a striker is a big move. Is it though? Actually, is 42 million that much these days? I think he'll do well for Nottingham Forest, but I think they'll do well, like I said, to even get into that top 8. Another team that I think is going to really struggle this season is Brentford. I think we've got to keep our eye out on Brentford, but I might do a little predictions video and talk about where I think clubs are going to be. But it's an interesting one. Maybe someone out there building up their FPL is going to put Andri in there. He might be a cheap option and bang in a few goals. Decent player, but that is going to be it for this video. I just want to give you guys a heads up that once again, my personal life is going a little bit haywire at the moment. I'm in a little bit of a difficult situation, so my uploads might be a little bit inconsistent. It's just temporary. I've been through a lot over the last few years. That's not me getting upset. That's genuinely my throat being sore. That sounds awful, though, didn't it? I was like, I'm really struggling, but I'm okay. I just might not be able to get videos up as often as I would like. And don't worry, in preparation for FC coming out, I'm going to be back and at my best. So FC 26 content will be banging. But just for the next week or two, you can expect maybe a slight inconsistency with uploads whilst I navigate through a pretty tough situation. But I appreciate all the support. I will post when I can, and I will see you in the next video.